The following footage contains a bit of swearing, but at least I could admit I was wrong.
Hello, kitty. Meow. Not happy, hey? I had to stick her in the rabbit's cage, and she managed to get it all to kink sideways. In other words, in here. And she's not supposed to eat tonight in order to... So when she goes to get spayed, they aren't fighting a whole heap of blooming intestines and guts full of food. And basically, I'm trying to keep her away from the food, but Black Kitty needs the food because she's pregnant and she eats quite a lot, quite often, and I'm going through cat food pretty fast compared to usual. But somebody was smart enough to kink the sides of this by pushing it in one direction and actually get a gap to form between this and that, just by slamming the sides pretty hard, regardless of the fact it had that rock on it and got through, so I've had to actually wire it down. I know, kitty, I know. Anyway, she got out and I was sitting there on the computer about to make some videos live and answering emails, and there's a cat beside me purring away, and I thought it was Black Kitty, and I turned around and nope, someone may have eaten food when they're not supposed to, because she was on the bed lying next to me, cuddled up to me. She doesn't do all that much, but has been doing the last day or two. I know, kitty, it's not good. It's you stay inside your little box there, and you're going to have a shitstorm of a day tomorrow, and I just remembered I forgot to clip your nails, so that is not going to be terribly good for the vets, or for me if I have to get you inside this box tomorrow morning. I may have to hide the food when I do that, hey bud? I'm hoping you don't run off, because I've got to get there before 9 AM, so I need to get up reasonably early, because I'll take her home the same day they do it, which means they need to start it reasonably early by the time they do her, and plus all the other animals coming in and out. So, and I think they get call out sometimes to check out horses as well, because sometimes that vet doesn't answer the phone. Anyway, pussy, can't cuddle up with me tonight, but you don't do that usually most nights anyway.
Don't like it, do we, bud? You're starting to cry like a little kid. Oh, it sounds like a little 4-year-old girl about to start blubbing. Oh, she's not making that noise now, but... You're not happy, are you, buddy? Hey? Oh. You going to like meow? You poor little bastard. Well, another 20 minutes of this crap yet, so... Here it goes. Your womanhood will never be the same after this. Well, I will be fucked black and blue. We have an answer to the whole Black Kitty pregnancy thing. And the size difference. And I learned something about cats I never dreamed of. Turns out tabby cats are fucking male. I couldn't believe it. I always used to pat on her guts and I could never see a sheath. Now, those of you who do it with pigs, sheep, bulls, will know that they've got a sheath that sort of hangs underneath, and that generally I just assume, well, cats are going to be the same. Dogs, you'll see it easy. You know, penis hangs underneath, sort of more or less where your belly button is, sort of thing, in that sort of a place. Cats, no. What looks like the vulva at the back that I never really got a good look at, because, I mean, I didn't need to investigate. It just looked like Black Kitty was a runt and Tabby was growing bigger, and what looked like a small vulva, as you know, the vagina and all that, you know, lips. On Black Kitty, Tabby Cat had what looked to be the same thing, but with a lot more hair. Turns out that's actually testicles that are held close together, tied up, much the same way as a pig, where you got the testicles right below the arsehole, and they're sort of held pretty tight to the body. With pigs, cats are the same. They don't actually have, really speaking, a sheath either. Tabby Cat's got Black Kitty pregnant. All this stuff that I said, how I mentioned I saw Tabby Cat humping Black Kitty a few times. That's the answer to what happened with all that shit. Yeah, it explains the size difference. No one's a runt, it's just the male's bigger than the female. Still, somehow, they piss out the back anyway. Much the same way as females do, and I've seen Black Kitty taking a piss quite a number of times. I've seen Tabby Cat having a shit, but never really taken a piss, but apparently they piss out the back anyway. The males do, the same way a female cat does, which is probably why I never saw her lift a leg like a dog and piss against anything. Well, I've never really noticed it pissing. Him pissing. So that explains a lot of bullshit. Tell you what, you can never tell sometimes, unless you know a lot about these specific animals. And you can't just assume one animal onto another, regardless of if bulls, pigs, sheep, and dogs are all one way. You can't assume it onto cats. I would have thought so, but I was wrong. So there you go. I can say it in front of a camera. I was fucking wrong. Well, we're back from a traumatic event and a traumatic trip there and a traumatic trip back, in which a lot of desperate meows were had over a long enough period of time that I don't feel like hearing any meowing today. Got a little green tattoo in your ear, haven't you, buddy? That's a universal mark. She sort of spilled the ink a bit when it washes off. The ink that's still, you know, under the skin from the tattoo will be like a circle with a line through it or something, and indicates to most local governments that it's been desexed, because that's the standard mark used by local governments, and that's what they require. So she has a tattoo gun in there as well. Yeah, when he stands up, you might see his balls. It appears the urethra is below their balls by the looks of it. And they shaved his balls, and I'm not so great with vet terminology. I know a few things about pigs and whatnot, and we didn't even need to make a cut. And I thought, what do you mean by that? I said, well, how did you do it then? Oh, well, we made an incision and blah, 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 and then tied it up like that. And I thought, I was sitting there thinking, I thought an incision was a cut. I thought it was the same thing. But anyway, somebody's balls got shaved and they cut it a certain way, and yeah. But I can see the anatomy a lot more better now and understand that it's probably one of the few male animals that actually pisses out the back that I know of. His balls are a lot like boar balls, like male pig balls. It's funny, they don't sort of, with cows, sheep, humans, even kangaroos, they hang down below the body. With pigs, they sort of pull them up to the back of their, like they're almost like they're stuck to the back of their arse sort of thing. And most pigs, if they crap, it'll just sort of slide over their balls. One pig we have is very good for breeding and a reasonably well-behaved pig compared to some of the other grumpy shits. And he is as fat, and I mean, like, he's so fat, I don't know how he just about doesn't break one of his front legs. But as a result of being so fat, yet eating the same amount as all the other pigs, he is great genetics because he produces very fat piglets compared to the other pigs, because he just, I don't know, processes his nutrition better or something like that, better digestive system, and puts on a hell of a lot more weight for the same amount of feed, which is really what you want. Anyway, he's so fat that he can't even, like, his balls aren't, most pigs can suck their balls in, especially if you spray them with, like, spray their back with a hose, you'll see them pull their balls in to protect their balls. Whereas this pig, he is so fat he can't even suck his balls in. And most pigs, if they crap over sort of down the side of their balls. He will actually crap right on top of his balls because he's so fat. But it appears little Putty Tat, it's pretty much made the same way. He's going to sit down again so you can't really see it, but it doesn't have terribly big balls to begin with. Anyway, it worked out slightly cheaper. I saved myself, I don't know, $25 or something like that in the process of all this. No, actually it may have been more. It may have been damn near $45, I think. But, yeah, his urethra, his piss hole is directly below his balls, and I understand a little bit more about cats now. I never knew shit about cats. Not really. Not at all, really, you know. Sheep, I can tell you stacks of stuff. Cows, I know the basics. Pigs, yeah, I know a fair few things about pigs. Not absolutely tons, but, you know, the boss at work, the gay boss, he explains things in great technicality, so I've sort of learnt a lot faster about pigs than I have about any other animal. Bit of a clue with chooks. I've got a reasonable idea about chooks, having worked in the chicken industry. Dogs, been around sheepdogs all my life. Had a dog until about 7, 8 years ago. My uncle was still alive when he died. I think he died about 2007, 2008 or something, this dog. I can't really remember. And cats, completely different ball game. I always assumed that things were set up pretty similar to dogs. Not at all. Somehow they don't have a sheath like sheep, pigs, cows and dogs do. It's all very different under there. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious I don't know much about cats, and they're a whole lot different to dogs. And their food costs more because they require more of certain nutrients and a higher grade of protein and yabba yabba. I've read a bit up on the whole differences of a cat's diet compared to a dog's diet. I'll read quite a bit up on that. Trying to find if I could cheap out on cat food by using something to substitute dog food to bring up the levels of protein and taurine and all that. But anyway, I suppose you learn something new every day, and my grandfather, the one who used to be pretty bad with the box of matches, that one, he used to say that if you don't learn something every day to the day you die, then there's something wrong. And you learn something new every day, and well, this was my day to learn something new.